We make moves, our philosophy is always move early rather than late. The only reason he had the ability to get him up, get him off the boundary safety spot and allow us to move him. I think he's going to be a really good player up near the box, and I think he would have been from the day he walked on the field. But we just hadn't had that luxury. So spring ball. We don't play anybody next week, and they ain't no keeping score, and they ain't gonna cut the scoreboard on. So we're gonna move guys around. We're gonna find out who can play. And then if those young guys don't step up back there, he may have to move back. He understands that. If he has to move back, DeMario may have to move back out. So it's kind of a domino effect. And one of the big things that we hope will happen is those young DBs back there and some of those other guys that have played extremely well will step up and see an opportunity. We're going to give them all the reps and see what they do.
Kind of interesting that you're moving two of your starting safeties out of a position that has already been.
I mean, you move Akeem out of there, and you also move Devontae up front. And, you got wide open back there now. DJ, of course, is the starter. But moving those two guys out of the way, we got an opportunity for a lot of those guys now to get a bunch of reps. And we'll see where they are in 15 days and see what kind of progress we've made.
Is there one guy who's opposite DJ right now in that first spot? I mean,
not really. We moved Devontae up the spur and working him there, and hopefully we can get through the spring doing that, because that's where I think he can be a better player, selfishly for him and hopefully for us. But for that to happen, some guys out back might to improve in the spring, and we might see some chances for them to step in the lineup.
What was Rodney out today?
Rodney's not going to practice this spring. He had a little something cleaned up in his knee.
Are you going to get him back 100% next year?
I think he will be. Yeah, the one they had to do, unfortunately, the other day, that's got him out right now, is not even the one he hurt year before last.
Okay.
He had a little cartilage issue on the other knee. Rather than risk that flaring up because of another problem, they went and cleaned that up. And when they went in, they really didn't know what they were going to find, and it turned out to be the lesser of two problems. There's a very, very bright and optimistic outlook on that. But the other thing, he's going to play without that big heavy brace on the knee that had surgery.
Right.
So I just knock on wood, I think Rodney's going to have a better season next year. And he's going into his 6th year with the hardship. There's no point bringing him out here and trying to see if we can get 15 reps a day out of him. He already knows what he's doing. It's just a matter of him getting healthy and coming back in 2 days. Having a good summer, obviously, coming back 2 days, preseason, and get ready.
You got he and Shaq 100% next year. How good can you be there?
Well, we can be better, and I don't mean the production. I thought Josh and Tony played very well at times and played very physical. But you had two guys that had only been on our program for 18 months, and all of a sudden now they got a quarterback to defense. And I thought we lost a lot of glue with those two guys. You're talking about two veterans that can make all the calls and those kind of things. Josh got better as the year went on. I thought he had a great season. I was really proud of him. But it was a lot of experience lost when we lost those two guys. When we lost Shaq and when Rodney wasn't himself physically.
Does Shaq seem to be bouncing back?
Yeah, they don't want to go full tilt, but they've cut him loose. He's been doing everything that everybody else is doing in the off-season program, and that's stop and go, cutting, all sorts of range of motion, lifting, and everything else. It's just, football can be different, and rather than getting some of the explosive things and work him until he gets to fatigue, we thought that might risk a re-injury. And so because of experience and because of the injury, we're going to be a little cautious. But what he's going to try to do is go back 10, 15 reps, take another period off, come back and give back 10, 15 reps, take another period off, see if we can go through the spring that way. I don't know if I'll scrimmage him or not. I'll just have to see what the temperature is when it occurs. I hate for him not to scrimmage, because sometimes when somebody's out too long, they kind of lose touch with things. But I just don't want to get him hurt this spring. We got this again. It's kind of a double-edged thing. We want to see a lot of young players too, see if they can get better. I'm not worried about him missing reps.
Is Butler going to work with Spurs at all? It looked like he was kind of just his linebacker background kind of thing.
Yeah, most of his coach's main focus in the hire was obviously special teams, and I don't think he was overly concerned where the guy ended up on which side of the ball. And John's background has been more on defense. And wherever you got the kicking game guy, you really need the fifth guy because of game organization and preparation and everything else. So it's going to work out fine for us to have him on our side and really be a bonus for us to be a little extra preparation during the week. And so another set of eyes. And also during the game, now we don't have 3.5 guys with somebody tied up in the kicking game and trying to get corrections and things in and out of the game. I think it's going to be a really big help to us. Not to mention his experience out on that side.
When you look back, I mean, are there things about the passing defense and how it worked out? And I know how you talk about it all working together, but things that you still scratch your head about at this point?
The only thing that really was frustrating is early in the year we didn't have guys who were getting home one-on-one on pass rush. I think a lot of times there's a lot better coverage out there than people understood, but the time element was causing things to break down. And then we began to make some mistakes back there that were very, very unexcusable. And like the busts or the mistakes back there, we really weren't that complicated. So that was the biggest thing. You're going to have some missed assignments in the course of the ball game, but normally it wouldn't be quite as I guess unexplainable. They weren't real complicated things. But then the other part of it is I thought as the year wore on, we didn't play very good man coverage, and I didn't trust man coverage, and I wasn't going to call it. In certain situations, we should have been playing tight coverage. We're not very good at it. We're going to remember to get better at it fundamentally. So we were doing a lot more dropping 8, blitzing 7, and all this kind of thing, trying to create confusion and keep the other team off balance. And that's not good on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5 always. You got to get good tight man coverage sometimes, and don't concede any of these 4-yard throws. And that's what I think contributed during the course of the year.
Do the youngsters look like they can come in and contribute immediately?
We got a bunch of good-looking players. There's going to be a learning curve. Talent-wise, there's a lot of these guys that have got the ability. There's some older guys, Negree and Corey Addison, have got to step up. They've been here a while. And then we got some younger kids who I'm really anxious to see how their 15 days go. With Marte Maddox and Bryson Williams getting in here early in January, and then we redshirted Go Lightly and Sanders. They got a chance to jump in there and compete. So I think it's going to be a good spring, hopefully out back for us in the secondary, trying to develop some of those guys.
If Akeem Modeste has his confidence and swagger back, does that carry over to some of the other secondaries just because he's such a boisterous guy?
Well, anytime a player is playing well, it helps everybody else. And then, our corners they're involved in communication, but our safeties are really the quarterbacks in the secondary. They got to do most of the talking. So in that respect, we move him out to the corner. He won't be as involved in that anymore. But anytime if a player can make plays and do things that turn the ball game around and give you a spark, that's always a big effect on the player beside him.
Yeah.
And they all need all the help they can get. And guys like him, older guys like him and Gilmore, they got to start producing and doing some things, stepping a little bit above normal, do some exceptional things if we're going to be good.